best of one cues. I'm not sure which one's the better EV. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. Despite any lack of success for the format, I do think it's a pretty sweet one. I've been enjoying it. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, but I possibly need to stop overvaluing the the blue-red decks. So I might try going green. It's the only colour I haven't played in this set yet is green, and green seems pretty good. Obviously, we'll have to see what's open now that it's human drafting. Which, to be honest, has made things like a little bit weirder. No, this is definitely a set of cards. And some I haven't had a chance to play with, like Necropanther seems very good. Skycat Sovereign, again, seems quite good. Both double colour cards, like Skull Prophet would seem very good in black-green. Boot Nip has been very solid. Dreamtail Herald's been excellent. I mean, I think I'm pretty... I do want to try Skycat Sovereign. I'm just, like, that blue-white deck, like, with the flying sub-theme, like, you really need that uncommon to tie it all together, otherwise, like, you're just kind of playing a blue-white skies deck, which isn't bad. There's, like, a lack of reach in this format. But a Necropanther seems solid, and although it's a gold card, the mutate means it can kind of go in either one, so I'll start there, because black-white is one of the archetypes I'd like to try. You know, I've picked up quite a few lands already, so I'm actually going to pass on the Survive Trio. Where am I? I've kind of got my standard deck for a little bit, so that's okay. I think Dire Tactics kind of strong removal spell. Feels a step above everything else in this pack as well. Even though it's like 2 gold cards in a row, but it does feel like, with the exception of Glowstone Rookie Loose, definitely the best card in the pack. And we're getting some black coming this way. Like Grim Dancer, like, it's not been like the windmill slam that like a Vampire Nighthawk has been, but I mean, it seems like such an incredibly powerful card. I mean, other considerations here: Zagoth Mamba, Blitz Leech, Farfinder. I quite like Unlikely Aid. And if we're going black-white humans, then there's the Snare Tactician. So I feel like we'll get something back. Okay, right. This is feeling solid of a pacifism here. And again, the option... Like, I mean, Void Beckoner's good. But, I mean, pacifism's just... Like, it's just a removal spell. And I'll probably looking at this as pacifism number 1, Void Beckoner number 2, Helica Glider number 3. And then even then there'd be a Survive Crystal and Memory Leak. There's nothing amazing coming through in the other colours, so it feels like black-white might be alright, although this pack then does make me think a bit differently. You could potentially take Unlikely Aid if you were that committed to signalling early. I think there's a Rumbling Rock Slide, and red, white and red, black both go together quite well. There's also Fertilid, which I'm coming around on, but the Rock Slide feels pretty good. Like, I think people underrate this card a lot. Like, 4-mana deal 4 is good to start with, and the later the game goes, the more it will just kill anything. None of these options are amazing, but I think the Blitz Leak. I've actually not yet seen this card played or played it myself, so I'm kind of curious to give it a go. Mythos of Brokos. 2 green, search over for a card, put it into your graveyard and shuffle. Oh no, sorry, it's 2 permanents from graveyard to a hand. That's not amazing, not enough to consider moving across. Black White's got a lot of tokens if it comes together, so I'm going to take this neutral destruction. And there is one of those token makers, the Night Squad Commando. Just a really solid body, especially if we go the humans route, you know, one of those enchantments. And yeah, we'll see what starts coming around. What started looping. There were some possible options for us. One of those was the Perimeter Sergeant. It just broadly feels better. Like, the Survivor's Bond is pretty good, but you know, we're already kind of doing this black-white thing, so there's another one. I'll take an Adaptive Shimmerer because I really don't like any of these other cards. This feels like a late Snare Tactician, and we're not really set up to benefit from the cycling, but again, it's a human, and we don't have any of the human payoffs yet, but I mean, it feels like we will have cut black-white pretty good. It doesn't feel like either of those colours are particularly being like shut off from the other side, so feels like we've got good opportunities again. Yeah. And even if we're just making tokens, it works well, this mutual destruction. And stick that rock slide in the sideboard for now. I'll take the Likelihood. And Likelihood, I really like the idea of running in the kind of black-red menace decks. Just, you make them do these double blocks and then really get them. Ooh. Okay. So, I mean, Swallowed Whole is a pretty good removal spell. Umori is each non-land card in your starting deck has a kept type. She has a card type. I mean, this does mean you can't do removal. But, I mean... I think the companions are incredibly strong and almost always worth playing. So let's try this. Let's try this. It's probably a... So we'd lose, at the moment, we're losing 3 removal spells and a pump spell. So, I mean, this is the problem. Like, it actually really doesn't work well with a human sub-theme, but let's see where this goes and take a Farfinder. Good for splashes. Essence Symbiote is solid, or we don't have too much to mutate. I do like the Splendor Mare though. That's a pretty solid card. And a good chance we could loop something back. We also like Symbiote's green, and we're not really green, so I don't know why I said that. Take a Vulpikeet here. I'd really like Vulpikeet, a common. Like flying, grow a flyer. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be taking this Call of the Death Dweller. We can kind of abandon the Omori plan at any point, because we're not passing up too much that's like we're not making any glaringly unfortunate picks because of it. Offspring's Revenge. Huh. That seems cool, but I don't think we're particularly well set up to make advantage of it. I'll take the Zagoth Mamba. We need some 2-drops actually at some point. We've got some mutating going on, so that kind of works well there. Kind of want that for standard, but I'll live. Not really cycling much, but another Perimeter Sergeant for this human sub-theme will do me fine. Feels like the white's pretty open coming around. And yeah, yeah, we just need to flatten out this curve a bit. So the coil bug's quite nice, and I like the coil bug. Two twos you can just recur. Like, I'm always loath to pass up a 2/2 that like has some advantage to it. These perimeter sergeants are stacking up. So mutate is just that right now. It's kind of all between. I know this Imuru won't be worth it. But again, we're not making any like drastically poor picks to make that happen right now. Hellbond is quite nice there. And if it feels like Amori just isn't worth it, we can just still bring these 4 in. And at the moment I'm kind of feeling like Amori might not be worth it. But that's fine, because we can just still play Amori straight up as a card. I think it depends what other non-creature permanents kind of come up. I don't really want to play a Scorpion, but I'm definitely not playing Light of Hope. Like, if I get one of the human buffing things, then at that point I'd just play Amori as a random card. But yeah, I kind of want to see some more payoffs. This is a good pack for blue players. There's a Divine Arrow, but there's also Boot Nipper. And again, our curve's pretty odd right now. There's this big brick of free. And Boot Nipper's great, like just for mutating onto just as a 2/1 Death Toucher. I really, really like it. I kind of always want 1 or 2 in my black decks, so. I mean, if we had the fixing for it, and we do have a Farfinder, I'd absolutely play as Porky Parrot. But that feels very speculative. The Day Squad Marshal isn't amazing. The Scoured Barons is potentially the best pick here. I mean, I'm kind of talking myself into this Porky Parrot. Like, we can get the things that give Death Touch or Lifelink, and we want some mutates. And like, picking up a dual land is nice, but it's not amazing. And the Porky Parrot actually feels like it's got a lot more upside if you get the things to go with it. Okay, Vorpakey. Another Vorpakey is quite nice. I'll definitely take another Boot Nipper as well. Deck's kind of filling out nicely. At this point, I think I probably am leaning towards not playing Amori as is. And Fighters 1 is a good reason not to do that. Like, this card is such a blowout when it works. Helica Glider, Splendor Mare. I mean, Splendor Mare is pretty good. I mean, Lifelink is kind of meh. And I really do like Helica Glider, so I'm going to pick that up here instead. So if I kind of... let's put this back together. I have to see how many perimeters, like, the human server might not be good enough to play 3 perimeter sergeants. I definitely have some payoffs for it. It's possible this Porky Parrot pick won't pan out. But it felt like there was enough upside to make that work. Deadweight I've honestly not been that impressed by. But at the same time, I mean, it's hard to pass up removal. And the Snare Tactician is very good, but we really don't have much in the way of cycling, so it's just a 2/3. So I think Deadweight's probably got the most upside for us at this point. We also played the Bloodfell Caves, which would support this Porky Parrot. I don't know if I'd just splash for this on its own, but now I've auto-picked it, so... how How many vigilance creatures do we have? 1. And it's Farfinder. I'll take the Evolving Glance. No, that's particularly exciting. I don't think we're playing in Daffy Crystal. I will pick up a Memory Leak and try and play them when possible. I don't think I want the Corpse Churn. Not really that kind of deck. So pick up the Uncommon. That sweet, sweet Volt Progress. There are things that can work with Bulky Parrot. I don't think we have any of them, particularly. So it probably is not going to be worth a splash. There might be room for a Dark Bargain in this deck, I'm not sure. Okay. I cannot wait for when they eventually bring in the Magic Online groups by creatures and spells. So Zagoth Member. We have got 3 mutators, which I think is not. And it has to be on that creature as well, so I don't think Zagoth Member is going to be worth it. How many humans do we have? 7. Although we also have 1, 2 that make tokens. Maybe I want 3 of them. The humans element didn't pan out, which is weird because Black-White did feel decently open. I mean, never saw any of the real premier black cards in either colour. This deck feels solid-ish. It's kind of lacking in real bombs, but that's okay. Yeah, it's the black-white uncommons. I mean, apart from the Necropanther, we didn't really see like a General's Enforcer or anything like that. This is a clunky hand. Like, it does have removal, but the Spontaneous Flight. I mean, this might be okay. We're on the draw. Like, it's not horrible. Having a free drop there is quite nice. I mean, we're not going to have Tooney's like quote unquote quick hands, purely because you know, we did kind of whiff on having many 2 drops. So Excavation Moles. This is Abzan, Colossification, and a Cavern Whisperer. I suppose one thing we need to bear in mind is like we do have a decent chunk of mutate, but also a lot of humans. So I'm just going to play the Splendomare out as the biggest thing. It would also be a nice thing to Vulpikeet onto, or Spontaneous Flight onto. So definitely won't be trading with this mole. I'd be interested if they spend their turn tapping it down. I'm kind of okay with that. Because, I mean, we just get to get the life back. And let's play Imori, a named creature. This is 4 colours by the looks of it. That's interesting and also kind of worrying. 4 colours. I'm not trying to figure out what the predominant colours are. But yeah, I mean, you get to go up a 4/5. It's going to make our Vulpikeet. Does it reduce the cost of mutates? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so they're still just beating down. Okay, well, it looks like they want to get very aggressive. So I'm just going to play that out for the dire tactics. And I mean, I feel like in a race situation we're not in bad shape at all. Especially if we Vulpikeet onto the Splendor Mare next turn, or something like that. But yeah, they seem quite aggressive, so I'm just going to hold up this dire tactics. In case there's like a ram through or another fully grown or something. Because their game plan largely seems to be beat us down really quickly. We also do have the +2/+2 in case it's a ram through, which might honestly be better. We've got options. And this kind of splashing makes me think there's like an ultimatum or like one of the mythoses. No attacks. How much mana are they going to leave up? If they leave up all their mana, that's... I guess there's a tap. Don't feel like we need to use any of the removal just yet. I'm going to mutate onto the Splendor Mare. Firstly because the lifelink's quite nice, and secondly because Amori's a threat on its own. Splendor Mare can now be a threat on its own. We're just diversifying the threats and kind of spreading the love around a bit. See what happens here. Okay. I mean, I'm still happy just kind of holding up our combat trick and dire tactics. Patagia Tiger. So they've got a tap in hand. Well, I say a tap in hand, they can tap something down. It's a question about potentially could put the spontaneous flight on that. I think I am just going to kill this tiger now though. The excavation mole isn't really a threat anymore. And this is putting the pressure on them. Oh, they didn't tap. I'm just going to attack with everything here because we have the spontaneous flight. And yeah, I feel like this was meant to tap something down and they skipped through that step. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate for the opponent, but it felt like we're in a pretty decent hand state anyway. Yes, we are out of bronze. So not been a good start to this set. And it is like a weird trend for me. Is like, although I kind of like playing control-y, like slowish type decks, and that's always what I've tried to do in Limited, I'm finding a lot more success with being kind of more aggressive, which is the complete opposite of Standard, where I've gone back to my control roots and seem to be doing well out of it. Hey, you're not in silver, you're in gold. I mean, we can play 3 cards in our hand here. That's some pretty wild art. I mean, on the draw, I think this is okay. I mean, I feel like I say this every stream, but I'm generally like really loath to mulligan in limited because I feel like the one card disadvantage is such a problem, especially compared to standard, where like in standard you can kind of recover that quite a bit. It can be a bit trickier in limited, where you really have to get the most out of every single card. Okay, so we're up against Tima. I'm just going to continue to call them by the card's names rather than this like Ikoria Savai stuff. Cycle for a land. Nice. That's a relief. I quite like Glimmerbell, like decent blocker, and it is such a good card to mutate onto. Facet Reader I'm not sure about. Like I feel like it's solid, but it never quite feels as good as it could. I feel like there might be a fight coming. Just the way this highlighting's happening. I'm going to attack. I'm happy to trade this up for either of these. And I'll play a Night Squad Commando, which provides a nice fuel for mutual destruction. I'm also playing this instead of Helica Glider in case of like Essence Scatter. Because I mean, if something's going to get Essence Scatter, I'd rather it be this than the Glider. It's also like quite nice to now have the 1/3 out of the way, because this means this Helica Glider can actually attack. Oh, what is this? Cogler the Titan Ape. ETB fight. 1 and a green, return Tycoon you control. Okay, so we should kill that now. We should absolutely kill that now. And we are still a bit slowed down by the lack of lands, but we've got a decent hand. And that feels like one of the opponent's better threats dealt with. We have nothing. Get this out flying. Yeah, it'd be nice to hit land number 2, land number 6, just because then we can start doing 2 things a turn. Still feel slightly behind. I'm kind of tempted to kill this Facet Reader soon with the mutual destruction, which might feel like a bit of a waste, but like in this situation, it feels this card will just pull the game away from us pretty quickly. I feel like they definitely have some sort of fight spell in hand, where they just keep highlighting one of their creatures and one of our creatures. Okay, no, it's Frostlings. Okay, so they're almost out of cards. Which kind of incentivises me to do this more, because it feels like we will have the better hand at that point. And let's play Death Touch. Yeah, Death Touch Menace. Sorry, Death Touch Lifelink. The Menace doesn't feel like it's going to be all that relevant. Ah, it's another Frostlink. So they're going the tempo route. And that phase Dolphin will become annoying pretty quickly. But they are out of cards now, at least, so... So, yeah, this feels okay. The phase dolphin's annoying, but depending, I might just try and kill that with a spontaneous flight. Although I could also double up the phase dolphin at this point. Okay, no plays is a nice one. Death Touch Lifelink. Definitely put that on the Grim Dancer, but I also might, like, I feel like what I want to do here is save the spontaneous flight for a combat trick or something. I'll have to just keep putting out dudes. Like this way I can start attacking with Snare Tactician and Perimeter Sergeant, and their blocks aren't fantastic. Ooh, Feeding Otter. That could be potentially annoying. Also, I don't know why I didn't attack with Helica Glider last turn. I could also possibly just be more aggressive with this Vulpikeet and just stick that on something. So if I stick it on the Grim Dancer, then that will get out of range pretty quickly. Okay, well now is definitely a good reason to do that. Provide a pretty quick lock, especially if we Vulpikeet something else next turn. Feels like we have some advantages versus like red based removal with this. I am kind of concerned about them, just like they've been sat there with like 3 cards in hand for a while. Oh man, Archipelago is that's annoying. So that's gonna be a 7/7 Feeding Otter. So what are they going to tap down here? Don't want to get in damage or, yeah, slow that down. Okay, well what I'm worried about now is some sort of mutate chain on this Archipelago. Because we don't have any, we've only got a Pacifism left. Three, 5, 7. I might just go for the double block here. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Like, Archipelago definitely feels like a way we can lose the game. And the only thing I think the only card I can think of that would really blow us out here would be the First Strike one. But like, I'd rather get the Archipelago Feeding Otter thing out of the way. Got a pretty quick clock anyway. I can just play this out raw. Like, it blocks, it still flies. It's less eggs in one basket. That card is... I'm very much coming around on this card. Like, I mean, Divination's fine, but like the amount of times I'm just seeing... I mean, that person just cast it for 2 and a blue. But I've seen a lot of people just doing that for 1, and it's just like, oh god. Frill Scare Mentor. Okay, so that's... Yeah, Menace on Phase Dolphin is actually quite sweet. I suppose they need to race here. It's going to be hard for them to race because of this Grim Dancer, right? Does this mutate? No, it doesn't. And still just naming creature here. This must be pretty... there must be some advantage for this in Standard. Creature only deck, maybe? Okay, that looks like that'll be it then. Volpkey, it's a good card. I shouldn't get ahead of myself, they might still have... Actually, no, what can they possibly have with 3 mana that's going to stop all of these flyers? They could have 2 of the reach things, but even then, yeah. Okay, nice. End of Wallet. Man, I miss not having a mastery pass because it just felt like every time you did a draft, like at some point you just get like the explosion of coins and XP, and it's very exciting. Okay. It's a fine hand. Like, nothing amazing in it. But, you know, Sonorous Howlbonder really helps activate Night Squad Commando, so... I really do want to draft the Black-Red Menace deck. I feel like that has the potential to be one of the best decks in the format. I just think, unfortunately for it, a lot of its cards just overlap, because, you know, Menace is just a good ability. Like, it reminds me, like, I think the most success I ever had in a draft format, especially in paper, was like, I don't know if it was Origins, it was whatever had, it was like the first time Menace had come out, and it had that, like, 2 and a red Goblin. Oh, I shouldn't have played this first because of Essence Scatter. This one I'll go Lifelink Menace. It had like the 2, I think it's called Boggart Brute or something. It was just 2 and a red, 3/2 Menace, and I would just draft 4 or 5 of those, and it's amazing how people can quickly not keep up with that. Especially like combat tricks and removal, like Menace. Like Menace just has the potential to make things so awkward for your opponent. So on that note, I think I'll play the Howlbonder here, because again, this is going to make it really awkward to deal with both of these cards. Okay, Sea Dasher Octopus. That's a nice one. And I think I will probably immediately pacifism that, to be fair. More team. I'm seeing a lot of people just playing straight up 3 colours. Oh, nice. So they get a copy of Grim Dancer and it gets the fight. And that is a good reason to splash. And they went Death Touch Light. I mean, this felt like this went from a very good start to oof. Death Touch Lifelink. I mean, I'm kind of okay doing some trading here. Like Blitzleech has the potential to cause some very nice blocks on that Grim Dancer if we get a land. I'm not going to double block here. There's just so many things they can have at 5 mana, and we've got a nice answer to it in hand already. Nothing. Okay, well, there's a good chance we run into a flash creature here, but if so, then we've got the Blitzleech to kind of mitigate some of that. And we'll leave this up. I'm trying to think what could be going on in the opponent's hand. They just sat there with 5 cards in hand. It's possible they're sitting on like a counter spell, and us not playing anything could have screwed up their plans. No plays. Okay, well, I'm okay with that. This thing can still get in. no Wraths in these colours. Yeah, that was some bad sequencing by me. I should have played the Perimeter Sergeant first. Does it have 2 Essence Scatters? We'll kind of explain what I've been holding up lots of mana. But even having that Perimeter Sergeant is quite nice because now that's buffing all of this. And we're applying the pressure, and if they've got a handful of reactive stuff, then us kind of applying that pressure works out quite well. Like, it definitely feels with the opponent having 5 cards in hand and us just this one Blitz Leech that we're not ever too far away from this match flipping against us. Like a removal spell here, another blocker. I even went like Fire Prophecy and a 4-drop, and suddenly we're kind of shut down a bit. Like, I'm definitely wary of the fact that they are constantly holding up mana. But it does give us the potential to use this quite well. Definitely got some good draws. Okay, so well, I say just Lava Serpent. Which I think I'm just going to take out here. Like, if this gets rid of the Grim Dancer, then so be it. But I feel much happier just beating down here. Like, it just means that, like, I feel like when you're in this situation with the card advantage, you just want to push to try and finish things off, especially considering when we've got things like Vulpikeet and Spontaneous Flight, Fighters 1, that we still have the potential to just keep them on the back foot. Like, it's very possible they're stuck with some double red spells in hand. Oh wow. Gust of wind. It's very reactive. I do have to kind of worry about Essence Scatter on the way back down. Returned Fire Serpent to hand. Or Lava Serpent rather. I think at this point I'm going to give this Death Touch instead of Lifelink because we're already on 30 life, which is, you know, many life. I think for the second time my chat isn't working. So sorry if there's been messages in chat I haven't seen. Yeah, just because if they play a fight spell, this Death Touch now gets around that, so. I mean, yeah, maybe you always go, no, sorry, a chat just wasn't working for whatever reason. I mean, I feel like we just go for it with the Blitz Leech here. Like, they're definitely holding up neutralize mana. But I suppose you can't wait forever. And this is tapping mana very deliberately. Like, this may have got another Essence Scatter. Like, it definitely feels like a Control-East type deck. I'm going to go for it here in case they could cycle into an Essence Scatter. And that's pretty sick if you've quote-unquote profited off each one. And it's kind of like some of my theory that being on double red kind of screwed them over. But yeah, that felt like a nice little win. Felt like the approach worked nicely there. Maybe just as a drafter I'm too tied to kind of like fancy decks that rely on the rares, whereas this just seems like, yeah, there's like a Mori, but everything's just solid. I mean, this is decent, you know, Double nips. Removal. It's definitely... Yeah, I mean, it feels like you've already got a decent handle on this format, man. I will say, I do like these alternate arts. I really wish there was a setting so they didn't appear with the wrong name, because it just intuitively makes it really annoying. Oh, do they keep a one-lander? Okay, we'll never know, but... I mean, black, green and a mutate target off the top there does not make me feel good. Black-green feels like it's very strong. I will happily trade with this Fertilid. I don't know if I can quite use a removal spell on it though. But, I mean, Fertilid is, as I found out from watching my friend draft today, is a pretty good card. Yeah, I think black-green decks are the decks I fear the most. Like, they can just benefit from mutates so much. Abzan. I'm just going to get rid of that now because that card has high potential to become a real pain in the arse. Like, I'm all in favour of getting rid of mutate stacks pretty quickly, just because they can get very out of hand. Struggling to hear me over the music. I can turn the music down. I have noticed, like, recently for some reason, like, I don't think I'm just talking quieter, or there's something wrong with my, like, microphone or something. Let's see what's going on in there. Duskfang Mentor, Garrison Cat, Eerie Ultimatum. I mean, I'm going to take the Eerie Ultimatum because with that Fertilid, they can definitely cast it. Not much point in attacking, because when they've got a free lifelink, they'll just swing back. And this Duskfang Mentor is potentially really right. I really need to turn Streamlabs off. Yeah, I mean, this set seems like, even though I'm not like doing very well with it, it does seem pretty sweet as a set. I mean, that's a bold claim. I'd see where you are in a few weeks, I guess. I don't think I want to kill the Duskfang Mentor just because... I mean, it's not worth risking it to just get an extra human. Just because, like, we've got 2 Death Touchers. So even if, like, the lifelink cards get out of hand, we can just Death Touch. My opponent is flooding out a bit. Ah, sick, a Vulpikeet. We do have to mutate onto one of the Death Touches, but it is a way to break this board stall. Because again, even just having our own Death Toucher is pretty solid. Any of this have reach? No. I don't know if we would win this race. But we'll find out. Because there is an argument for dire tacticsing the mental, just so it can't grow the stuff out of hand. But we'll have to see. Maybe I should have taken out the mentor, but what I'm happy to do is just kill this Splendor Mare at some point. Because I guess... yeah, the other reason is actually taking out this fertility means they can't just keep sucking out all these lands. That's actually quite a good combo. Okay, hindsight 2020 should have killed that mental. Because they have just filtered out their deck something for this. Dire Tactics is so good as a card. Like, it even gets around some of the really annoying tricks in the format by being exile. Mythos of Nefroy. So that might... that kind of slows things down a bit, but... yeah, you'd set the thing with the Boros decks is like I think like it's almost gone back to what it used to be like with Boros decks, which is if they get the honestly fine with trading. They've got a double block, and I'm more than happy with that if they want to do that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it used to be a case where if you played against Boros decks, what would happen is you would, like, in those formats, all the power would be at uncommon, and there'd be some decent commons. But like recently, it's more like, oh god, double tappers. But more recently, it's kind of become like a situation where, ooh, we can set up some stuff for ourselves here. But yeah, recently it's become more of a situation where it's like there's so many good Boros aggressive commons. But this set feels like there isn't that many like strong, like there's no these like really annoying 2 or 3 drops that just run away with things. Did not want to see Splendor Mare. Like we're in a really annoying spot because like they've got the mana to play something and tap twice a turn for quite some time. And that lifelink will get away from us pretty quickly. Like, I still don't know where I land on these tappers, because tappers are always good, but they also feel very clunky in this set. But yeah, we in trouble now. I think that's oh dear. Well, we need to draw something fairly soon. And I think what we're ideally looking for is like Necro Panther or Blitz Leech. Blitz Leech would be quite nice. Because the Necropanther could just get something else back. Yet to draw this Necropanther. It's really annoying. Like, there's something about me taking first picks, and then you just never see them in your drafts. And we're essentially on a 2-turn clock here. Actually, it might even be a 1-turn clock, because I can just tap into turn and swing with these, so... Man, that is rough, but so it goes. I think Fertilid did a lot of work. If I maybe killed that Mentor, just because the Fertilid managed to get like 3 lands out of their deck and make their draws a lot better. Also, like, who we're playing against is all over the place. We've had, like, silvers, golds, bronzes. Oh, we'll keep this on the draw. There's a lot of white going on here. Okay, so this is the Vigilance deck. So let's settle in for a long one. So it looks like they're missing Forest right now. And they're going to be gaining 3 a turn. Oh yeah, non-human. Or maybe they are just mono white. I mean, there's no point kind of spontaneous fighting something, because like we aren't winning this race. So I guess just keep developing out this board. I mean, get Volpakeep flying at some point. Stormwild Caprador. This actually honestly looks to be mono white. Now, question to the audience. Does it at some point become worth using dire tactics on Alert Heed Bonder? Because I genuinely think it might be. And I could have mutated this earlier, but I think I want to put this on. Yeah. I mean, it still deals with this Caprador quite nicely, and it does beat down. But yeah, do I kill this Heed Bonder? Because like in mono white, I'm not like, unless they really are off forests and just haven't drawn any green stuff, then I'm not sure what to be scared of. Ah, screw it, I'm doing it. I also we've got a Fighters 1 and a Spontaneous Flight. I'm going to wait to just swing with everything. Because if we can do Spontaneous Flight and Fighters 1 in one go, then that would have been quite nice. But I'm going to do that here instead. I mean, I'm sure I can probably start beating down if I just figure out the maths. Yeah, maybe I should have killed the Heed Bonder. Man, I've not faced a mono-coloured deck in this format yet. It's wild. Okay, well let's attack with everything, because Spontaneous Flight will save whatever's going to be in trouble, I think. And honestly, I'm not too worried about losing some of this stuff. I feel like the stuff I'd be not keen to lose is what I can save with this. There's an amazing howl from my cat. So if I feel like you'd want to kill the Perimeter Sergeant more than the Howlbonder. Oh, they're triple blocking there. I'll kill the Perimeter Captain. And if I put the Flight on it, I kill one other thing? Is this worth doing? No, I don't think it is. I think if we just kill this Perimeter Sergeant, I'm kind of happy with that. Like I probably want to just save it so I can put a flying counter on something more than anything. there's a tapper, which pacifism does not do anything against. Well, I just want to start beating down in the air more, so... And this thing can just buff the humans with them getting pretty much not out of the way. And this will be a 3-3, so... And this makes the blocks very awkward for them, I guess. This might be too aggressive, but we'll see. So this is non-combat damage, isn't it? So... Yeah, because if they double block there on the coil bug, that's more than fine, because that just gives me something to do with my mana if I don't draw much. That was a mighty hit as well. I'm surprised like they didn't block with the Caprador on anything. I mean, the thing I kind of fear most here is another checkpoint officer. The card's really annoying. I mean, honestly, I think I'm just gonna keep beating down. I could probably be thinking this through a lot more. I probably shouldn't have attacked with the 2-2, but again, if they're not blocking, if they're blocking the 2-2, then my other stuff's getting in quite nicely. So, because Bootnipple will trade with something, Caprador will trade with something. I mean, some combat trick would get me here, but c'est la vie. Light of Hope. It's the first time I've seen that card. I don't know why I did that there, that's not sorcery speed. It's not like I'm holding anything up, but you know, I want to throw off the opponent where you can. So checkpoint officer gets tapped down. You can't attack very well. It's kind of annoying that we can't play a creature that turn because of the double black, but more vigilance. I mean, they can kind of kill a Mori at the moment. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pacifism this as the main threat, and it also takes away a lot of their double, triple block options. Okay, so now they're tapping a Mori. So maybe they've got an answer for Vulpikeet, I don't know. Definitely going to try. This has been a very odd game. Very, very odd game. Where's the payoff? Put a vigilance counter on that. Does Light of Hope destroy enchantments? Yes. So let's watch out for that. I assume this time you have to, yeah. I mean, they do have some blocks on Amori, but if they've got combat tricks, they've got combat tricks. But otherwise, like, some stuff bounce, like, if one thing gets through, then that's it. So this gets to eat something. Slowly chewing our way through this. Stop giving me lands. they don't have another play. Cool. Okay, well that'll be win number 4. And this deck is kind of going further than I expected it to. Well, actually no, I thought this was an attainable goal. Yeah, I thought this was an attainable goal. Oh, we got a rare. Kunos. Right, I'm just going to nip away for a minute and then we'll see what happens with the remaining games with this deck. This is probably the point where I don't know how Arena does pairings actually. Like Magic Online tends to try and pair you with people of a similar record. I don't know if Arena does the same thing, because if so, this is where we'll probably start running into some stronger decks. That's Mulligan. And that is not an amazing 6. Going first with a 27% chance of drawing it. I think in best of 1, I feel like you have to mulligan this to 5. And that's really not much better, but I don't know, that 6 felt very rough. I guess 5 feels pretty rough as well, but it's going to happen. That's the Jeskai Triome. Okay, well, even hitting 1 swamp's decent enough. The boot nippers are kind of annoying in some ways because like they're definitely like you want to play them as death touchers, especially in this situation. But then if you get the chance to full picky onto them, you're like, but what if you were a 3/2 with lifelink? I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket here. There's also a good chance this is going to get essence scattered, but it doesn't. Almost worst case scenario, so now my brain's like Fire Prophecy? I mean, to go 3 lands in a row and not do anything is odd. Like, no cycling either. And this is one of those where it's like, okay, we've got a board state, but you look at the opponent and like, you have 7 cards in hand. Ooh, Mythos of Vardok. So that is 5 damage split across any number of creatures or planeswalkers. That's not great. Pyroceratops. Oh, let's get in with some menacing stuff. I mean, let's see what they do with this. We've got removal spells if we need them. But again, well, it depends how big they can make this. Oh, Narset. That's a problem. Although this could work out well for us. Okay, as I say, it could work out well for us if they decide to try and -2 to kill this. Yeah, Narset is I've had Narset. I mean, I'm playing Narset in standard as part of Jeskai Yorion. Does this get around that? No, it doesn't. And I've had it in limited. I would say it's... Oh dear, I skipped through my untap. I skipped through my second main. That's going to make this incredibly difficult.
Strike with a cunning mind.
So they draw a card... Oh, that's draw then you may discard? So that's actually just a straight up draw. Okay, well, despite playing with it in 2 formats, I didn't realise that. Yeah, like, Narset is, like, not amazing, but, like, pretty solid. I think the underrated thing about Narset is that Narset will ultimate very quickly. I think it is kind of, you may be surprised at how quickly Narset gets to ultimate, and that could be quite tricky to get out from. I think I just need to shut this Paraceratops down now. It would be nice to find another land.
Strike with the cunning mind of the dragon.
Yeah, I didn't realise this just straight up could just draw and you don't have to discard. That makes it pretty damn powerful. I mean, there's a good chance this is not going to be surviving long, but you have to use your mana efficiently at this point. And there's not a great deal of like hoping for the best at this point in the game. I mean, I think the real struggle here was clicking through that main phase, and obviously mulliganing for fun is not great.
Breathe in, exhale.
Yeah, I think we would have to do extraordinarily well to get out of this one. I mean, I'm gonna go for it. I mean, I feel like they don't have removal, because if they had removal they would have just killed it, right? And just swung out for the victory. Well, more for me. I think that's still the right thing to do, but that is quite funny. I cannot think of a single card in our deck that will get us out of this.
To open the mind, you must first open the heart.
Yeah, that ain't it. Well, that was pretty resounding. Now, well, we'll run it back. Like, I'll definitely finish this draft. And if we've got time excess after it, I probably won't start a new one, because I hate starting drafts and not finishing them on stream. So I'll probably play some standard. Oh, this is quite a nice hand. Jack the Mind Sculptor, eh? Blue-green. That's a Glimmerbell. I think I said earlier, I'm a big fan of Glimmerbell. Like, it's a really nice thing to mutate onto. And especially in blue-green, there's things like Parcel Beast you can go onto that are just very nasty. Death Touch and Menace. I do fear about the tempo hit here, like a Frost Lynx or any removal spell makes this really annoying, or a Dream Tail Heron. I always seem to have avoided that. I'm worried about, I'm kind of concerned about this 4 mana that's up. So I'm going to run out the Helica Glider, because if that gets countered I'm kind of fine with that. I'm going to put First Strike on it. We're going to have flying from the Vulpikeet. Yeah, I kind of like being down here. We're going to have flying from our Vulpikeets, and like this can't get through that anyway, so... Huh, ram through. Well, that wasn't ideal. But oh man, that was a big swing of stuff. This isn't horrible as long as they don't have Essence Scatter here. This should be quite a nice way of recovering some of that. If they do have Essence Scatter, then that's going to be nasty. This doesn't really matter. This time I won't attack. I'll keep that back. The first time I got to play Necropanther. So that's quite nice. Gross. Final empathy. Oh, I did this the wrong way around. I did this completely the wrong way around. What I should have done, I was going to mutually destruct to kill that, and then I should have Necropanther to get it back. That's annoying. I still think it's the right thing to do. Like, there's no point in compounding our mistake by continuing to make the mistake. But that's a frustrating mistake to make. Especially like, oh god. So they get something with an even converted mana cost from what just went in. So they can get a Wild Bonder? Oh, they got Art Amori. Oh my god. Well, that was grim. Let's keep returning stuff. Tempted to attack, but oh, the drawing card. Man, this person's deck is sweet. I felt it was going so well. I mean, that misplay of the Necropanther was pretty weak. But yeah, Wingspan Mentor, Garuda, Primal Empathies. Definitely could have played better, but still, we're in a decent-ish position here. I think we're out of mutators at this point though, so we're not going to get any more value out of this. Another otter. Another Glimmer Bell. Okay, well I'm just going to trade this off. Maybe they forgot this as Death Touch. Because that feels like a nice swap for us. I think with the Blitz Leech, I actually do want to start beating down. Like, our Splendor Mare can Really wish this had lifelink and not Death Touch now. Because yeah, they can race pretty hard. But I just hope that our Necropanther will be enough. The Blitzleash can potentially like kill something. And get some nice blocks for us here. I also think waiting around when your opponent has like this much card advantage between like this and that, like waiting around feels like there's no way that's going to work for us. No counter spells, please. Ah, counter spells. It's going to be difficult now. Oh no, there's lifelink. So what do we need to win here? Our opponents have nothing, and for us to draw exactly Spontaneous Flight, I think. That is not Spontaneous Flight. Yeah. Well, it kind of tailed off towards the end there, but I think that was about as... that deck was not fantastic. It was